Hey folks, so today I want to talk about the ATI FX 45 military. So let's check this bad boy out. So first things first, safety certificate, kind of cool. You don't see those very often. Alright, comes with, looks like it comes with a sample of Lucas oil. That's kind of nice. Let's see what else. The ever useless gun lock that no one ever uses. And a instruction manual. Now this looks like more like a photocopy than anything else. It is kind of a photocopy. But for an entry-level 1911, what do you expect? So let's actually look at the gun. There's nothing else in here, by the way. So first things first, we'll check the weapon. Alright, safe weapon. So this ATI, or American Tactical Import, FX 1911 is pretty okay looking. This is a pretty nice gun, particularly for the money. So the first thing you'll notice is this is a very, reminiscent of a World War II A1. It has the curved mainspring. It has the lanyard loop. It has very, very, very basic, traditional, but correct for the period sights. I would say the only thing that's not exactly correct is there is the small witness hole in the barrel, and this hammer is rather large. Let me show that to you. That hammer is big, but I would imagine that if we look hard enough we could find some variants out there, but that's a little bit bigger hammer, different style hammer than you see on most World War II era 1911s. But this is not a bad little reproduction, particularly for under $450. This is pretty okay. The grips on here are a little fat, as you can see right there, but they're very 1911 like. I have no idea what kind of wood this is, but it feels decent. It feels good in your hand. It feels like a 1911 should. But as you can see, the roll stamping is actually not that bad. That is big, but it's not horrible, and certainly it's not filled in, so it doesn't look all that bad. You can see that this is, let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. So it is very traditional in all regards. Obviously this is a 5-inch, and it does have a matte parkerized finish. It feels very good. Even though it's parkerized, it feels pretty slick. But as you can see, this is not too shabby. Get that to focus again for you there. So very nice for under $500, for under $450. Yeah, this is not bad at all. So the mag that it comes with is a Act mag, right, out of Italy. It's an 8-rounder. It does have the witness holes. It's a little sticky, but actually not bad. I've used these before, and they're really not that bad. I know a lot of companies contract with this Italian company, and really Act mags seem to be well made. They don't have a lot of flex in them. They just seem to work. So that's a plus. There it is, what it looks like in the gun itself. Pretty okay. There's nothing special really about this. It is pretty much a World War II reproduction. It is pretty faithful. I would say that, that hammer is a little bit odd. Somebody could probably comment and tell me if they thought that was correct or not, or if there were some variants out there from one of the smaller manufacturers, but I don't think so. I certainly don't think it looks like my Remington or a Colt, but either way, it's kind of nice actually. It's very big, and you certainly can get lots of good purchase on it. So I would say that this is very decent. I can't complain. I mean, for this money, this is pretty okay. Okay, so let's get some dimensions for you. So an empty weight is going to be 2 pounds, 9.8 ounces. I would say that's fairly common for an all-steel 5-inch 1911. Just over 6 pounds. Not bad. Let's do it again just for consistency's sake. 6 pounds. One more time, because we can. £6 on the nose. So I would say it's fairly consistent on that trigger. Now this trigger is not a Wilson Combat, obviously, but it's got a little bit of take up on that trigger, on that single action trigger. As you can see, it's got a little bit of play, but once you get it, it's on there, and it feels from there like a 1911 trigger. So I would say that's actually, that's actually fairly consistent with most entry-level 1911s. And that's actually probably the biggest advantage I can tell you about this gun, which is you can buy this gun for a very little amount of money, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You can take this to a gunsmithing class. You can outfit it with all Wilson Combat parts and accessories. You can go out and buy Ed Brown stuff to put on it. You can buy original Colt stuff to put on it. You could even track down original World War II parts and put on it. You can do all kinds of things. This is very much like an AR in the sense that it's kind of the Lego of the handgun world. So it is very nifty, particularly for the price. Now, if this was a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 gun, I would say no. But for the money, for being under $500, this is really quite nice, actually. I'm very impressed with the quality of this Filipino-made 1911. I just think that the time will tell when we take it to the range, right? So I think when we take it out there, and if it performs, I think this is a winner. All right. Let's finish up like we always do with pros and cons. The biggest pro has to be that this pistol is not very much money. Now, that may be a big deal to you. It may not be a big deal to you. It depends. I personally believe that your money should go as far as it possibly can in everything in life, including firearms. However, there are some people who truly believe that if you don't pay a lot of money for it, it is a piece of shit. And maybe it is. I don't know. We're going to take it out and we're going to test it and we're going to find out. But one thing's for sure. If you wanted to get into, say, gunsmithing or tinkering even, or you just wanted a project, this is where you would start. You certainly wouldn't modify a World War II gun, and you certainly wouldn't modify or work on a custom gun like an Ed Brown or a Wilson Combat or a Double Star. You wouldn't dare touch it, right? But this gun gives you the ability to go out, buy the parts that you like or prefer, and then put them on a gun. Learn how to fit, learn how to finish, learn how to beat it up and tear it down and build it back up. So I think this is a huge value just because of that, because you can risk taking it out. You can put it in a holster. You can shoot it. You can leave it. You might not even clean it on time. The thing is that this gun is, sub $450 versus a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 custom gun, or even a production line model Colt that's going to set you back $1,200 plus. So I dig it. I also dig the World War II styling. So all those things make this a good value in my mind. The one and only con I'm going to give it is that they didn't go far enough with the World War II theme, if you will. So for instance, this doesn't look like a World War II magazine at all. First of all, it's 8 rounds and it has plastic, and it's just not a 1911 World War II mag, A1 mag, I should say. It's not Parkerized, it has witness holes, on and on and on, right? So I kind of wonder why they didn't go with, an actual traditional looking military 1911. Now, you can find mags at relatively inexpensive, so you could always buy some to complete the look. The other thing that is kind of not World War II is this hammer. This hammer seems to be too big to be a World War II hammer. So, those are minor things, mind you, because this is an easy fix. This, I doubt many people would notice except for hardcore 1911 guys. So, that's kind of the one and only knock I'm going to give it. I mean, for the money, you get a hard case, not much else. You get the gun, one mag. It's $450 and under. It's a pretty good value. So that's its major selling point, and that, it just works for the money. Now, if it was much more than this, I would say no, you could do better for your money, but this is definitely worth a look. I think that you'd have a hard time trying to find a gun that was this nice for under $450 in the 1911 world. There's a few other makers out there, but they've gotten very popular over the years, and so, as you know, when things get more popular, they become more expensive. So I think as an entry-level brand, this is right where it needs to be. I think you would, you'd do fine. You wouldn't be sad if you bought it. So stay tuned. We'll do some range shooting with this guy. We'll do some testing, and we'll see what it does. If it chokes on anything but ball, maybe that's a problem. Maybe it's not. This kind of depends on what you want to do with this gun. But I certainly think it would be fine as again, an entry-level tinkerer's gun, or you could carry it, although it's kind of heavy and big, but you can do it with the right holster and the right belt. I've done it for years, so you can certainly get away with this. And I also think this makes a great home defense, nightstand gun, cabin gun, boat gun. Again, you don't really want to put out a classic piece of history or a custom gun in your out in the middle of nowhere cabin. So I think I think this has its place. It's certainly better than a High Point. So as always, do me a huge favor, share me on social media, like, share, and comment. And as always, be safe and be good.